Some people bring the show, some people come to win.
I can see why, you keep inviting us back. Yeah.
The amount of recklessness watching you guys all try and drift at the same time, like, the giveaway just did bad because no one liked the truck. Man, I don't think I've ever told this story online, by the way. The helicopter is sitting there ready because it's so life or death if something goes wrong.
Winter is here, and with the sun and the warm weather being gone, getting sick is also more prevalent. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you guys can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and choose the right one for your needs and click to instantly book an appointment online. I'm going to book an appointment probably right after this, honestly. And if you are sick, so should you. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/wide-open to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/wide-open, ZocDoc.com/wide-open. 8:31, 1 minute late. That's not bad for us, dude.
Good.
That's
really
actually
good.
really good.
Are we going? Are we good?
I mean, like, that's a miracle for me.
The first thing he said was, just tell your boys not to be too late today, okay?
And then you said the earlier the better, and that stressed me out.
No, this is perfect.
This is great.
Well, Cleetus Mcfarland, thank you for having us, brother.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm pumped.
We're actually sitting in Cleetus's hangar right now on his compound. So thanks for, one, having us to your compound and your hangar, but two, having us to the race tonight.
Dude, I'm excited. I was just telling you guys, I cannot believe you guys come and bring the whole crew. That's an operation. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, man, we're rolling deep. How many guys we got right now? Like, in the Airbnb, it's always tough when you get to the Airbnb and we got like 10 guys because we're always like, who gets what room and where's everyone staying? Who has to stay with each other? And nobody wants to sleep together and with Evan. So it's always like a race to figure out who's where.
Dude, he was sleeping in the garage last night.
Yeah.
It was a pretty
Evan
dope
slept in the
garage. Yeah, I mean, it's got a nice couch and stuff. But the problem with Evan is he really likes egg salad. So if you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, no, George is like terrible to sleep with too.
Yeah.
So, and they're kind of alike.
Man, I don't know about that, dude.
I mean, George snores like you might as well have this airplane running in your room with you if you sleep with George.
Yeah, that's always tough. Well, we know you got a busy day. That's why you wanted to start it.
It's going to be a cranker.
So, what is that like when you're putting on an event for all these people coming? You got the pay-per-view, and then you got to corral, 40 different racers and influencers?
Yeah, dude. Well, I can tell you this. It used to be the most stressful thing in my life. Like, by far, these race days, this race and then the Freedom 500, like, the most amount of stress I've ever experienced in my life was, like, the COVID, the first one. I would dread these weeks, but you do them because they're not only are they successful, they're a blast, but now they're not stressful because I have Josh and Ryan, those two guys who run the track. Holy smokes. Now I'm like, I'm not even stressed. Like, to do this on the day of the race is unheard of for me, but they're so good. My employees are so good. I can do it.
How'd you find them?
Well, Josh, the head guy for the racetracks, I hosted a track cleanup day like a month after I bought the Freedom Factory. The dude showed up with his entire lawn crew. He owned a lawn company. Not like charging me or anything. It was just a volunteer day. So there was like random people just helping clean up the weeds because you like every crack in the track had weeds up to here. Shows up with an actual commercial lawn company, mowers, all the equipment, real employees, and just stayed for 2 days straight and knocked out a ton of work. And then he just kind of hung out, like came to all the events. And I was like, dude, this guy's like so committed to making the track great for no reason. One day I was standing there, I was like, do you want a job? Like, would you work here? And he told me he has a successful business. I said, how, what would it take? He came up with a number and I said, done.
Just poached him.
If you want to do it, I poached him from his
own
job.
Yeah.
Shut down his own business.
Wow, he shut it down too.
He owned the business.
That's pretty crazy. He must have definitely seen, the potential and where it was going to.
Dude, he sold his trucks, found other jobs for his employees.
He probably was like, where do I want to mow lawns? At a racetrack and like manage this whole racetrack and be cool, or in whatever Lakewood Ranch we're in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that was like for him, but he has 2 kids and a wife, and he made a big change in his life.
That puts more pressure on you too, though, to like make it work.
I never was scared to have that pressure, but I know he was worried about it. Like going to work for a YouTuber, as you guys know, doesn't sound like the most promising thing. No. Because YouTubers are, one, incredibly unstable, like just inherently, because we're like squirrels. But two, like, how do you tell your wife, like, hey, I'm gonna shut down the company to go work for a YouTuber? That's probably pretty scary. But he did it, and he's the greatest guy.
How many guys you got around here?
I think the Freedom Factory right now, damn, I know there's like 25 people in the group chat. So that's full time.
That's heavy.
That's a full operation.
That's between Freedom Plus, Freedom Factory, and the race shop. And that's just those full-time employees. And then merch is probably like 30
Oh, wow.
God dang,
right
dude.
now.
It's always cool to see the back-end operations of other YouTube channels, you know, because a lot of times people watching, you know, might just think it's just you and George and the boys at the shop, right? But, like, little do they know there's so much more that goes into the back end.
And merch is like probably 10 full-time and then 20 temps. Like when it's busy, it's a lot of temps.
Yeah, we've actually, with our operations and our merch guys, you know, we've taken a lot of advice from just what you've done with your operation and how you've set them up, and really appreciate that.
Oh, I wish we could help more. We're in.
You're the man. You're not like you're not one of those guys that has the mentality of like there's a scarcity to
competition
and viewership and, like, you know, merch success. Like, since we met you, you've wanted nothing but success for us, and I think that says a lot, because we've met other YouTubers that think the complete opposite.
Oh, yeah, we all know him. But, you know, I can just give you a quick thing. Like the guy, Kyle Loftus, who brought me up, started my career, his theory was like bring everybody up with you. And like when I wanted to start my channel, it was never like, oh, I want 20% to help you. Or like, I was like his top guy for social media. And he was never like, hold on, whoa, what's this Cleetus thing about? He started it. I mean, he's the one who helped me start it. He was always like, let me help you.
That's from 1320?
Yeah, Kyle Loftus. He's like, let me help you. He helped me the whole way. Never a hesitation.
Is that why you still have 1320 as your Instagram username?
Yeah.
Like you still kind of just pay homage to it?
Yeah, it's just where I came from. And like that mentality, I use it every day. That's just how I learned to be around people and like care for people, is like just help everybody. And it actually just works out way better in life than worrying about so much. Yeah, competition. Like,
yeah, rising tides rises all boats. Why do you think that a lot of YouTubers or creators or just business people in general don't think that way?
I think they're just scared, you know, they're just scared of what other people could potentially take from them. I do understand that mentality. If you have a lot of obligations, high overhead, something like that, you might be real worried about what someone could take from you. But
it's like a lack of confidence in yourself, maybe.
Right, like scared that you're
probably it.
The lifespan of your said channel might be shortened because someone else is doing better.
Well, I think that's also why, you know, you can get 40 people to show up and support you on these races, and it's definitely not just like they're just supporting you and putting money in their pocket. They have something to gain by showing up and making content too.
But it's still insane that all you guys like you take 4 or 5 days out of their schedule to come do this. I think it's insane. 40 drivers will be here tonight from all walks of life and motorsport. I'll still never understand that, how I'm lucky enough to get you guys.
Dude.
Like insane lists too, like
Yeah,
really
when-
big names. How do
when
you
I was
go about
racing-
getting them?
Yeah, when I was racing, my mom was like, who are you racing against? I was like, oh, well, NASCAR drivers, action sports legends, like celebrities, just everybody.
Yeah.
She was like, and you?
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. I think to put like the most tangible things down, it's the car costs you nothing. You know, you don't have any setup required, no obligation on time. You don't have to promote. There's 0 requirements besides arriving and racing. And, you know, as us YouTubers and other guys, like, we don't want any obligations. Like, we hate that. At least I do. And so for you to just show up, do whatever you want in the car, and then walk away, it's kind of nice. So I think
that's true. That's a good point.
And it's not like we're texting you guys like, hey, can you promote Freedom Plus? It's literally just if you mention it, great. If not, like, we're just happy to have your name on the driver's list. So that works out good. And, you know, now it's grown to a level of viewership that I think some of the racers who are just actual racers, they're allowed to say to their sponsor, like, hey, I'm racing Cleetus's race, and it's legit enough, and it has more exposure than I'd say 98% of other races. So it's like their brands love it. So it works out good for them. That's how we get the big dog racers, like the NASCAR guys. And so I think that those are probably the reasons they show up.
It's really cool because obviously the streaming is gigantic. But every time we mention that we're going to the Freedom Factory, someone in the airport will go, hey, me too. from all over. Three different airports
Yes.
we were in. People are coming from like around the country.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some guy from Australia coming over here for this thing.
Oh,
but like
100%.
yeah, like people come from all
It'd be
over, and that they
Iceland, for
aren't,
sure.
and they aren't like people that probably attend every weekend race. They're like, I'm going to Cleetus's race because it's cool.
Dude, I bet half the people here, well, I'd say a third of the people here this weekend have never been to a track in their life. This will be their first time at a track. Like it's kind of like Disney on Ice of racing than it is like, you know, oh, I'm going to the track.
Yeah.
You don't really like skating, but you like Disney.
Yeah, I mean,
Are you
exactly.
Disney or are you the ice?
Just, you know, the whole show. Like you don't
Yeah.
you don't have to like ice skating to go to Disney on Ice with your kid and think it's just a cool show. Yeah. So like all these wives and stuff that'll come with these guys who are just hardcore car guys, they'll be like, this is the best track experience I've ever had because the bathrooms are clean and it's not just a race.
Yeah, it's like
There's going to be like RC planes flying. There's going to be parachute jumpers from the Golden Knights.
monster truck.
Bro, monster trucks. I'm telling you, the fireworks we bought for this are
Wait.
heavy.
But topped your birthday though, because
Oh.
that was
That was insane.
Way bigger. We had 4 like safety sections for that one. There's 9.
What do you mean
Wow.
safety
Like,
sections?
like you can't go in areas.
Okay.
Like launching zones.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think it was 5, and now there's 9. I know there's already 9.
crazy. Yeah, one thing to mention is it is much more than just a race. Like,
It's an
and
experience.
the last time we were here for your birthday,
Freedom 500.
Yep, for Freedom, it just
Banger.
blew my mind. Yeah, over and over and over and over.
Well, you had a helicopter on the line.
Well, I mean that was just one of
Oh,
many
yeah.
things.
Oh, yeah. Wait till
The
you see what
winner
I
got a
for the-
helicopter, dude.
Dude, here's the deal. After this, you guys need to go home and train somebody because there's a sick prize for the April race.
Bro, we're so fucked.
Need to get
we need to
get Evan
We
like
need our own track.
on the simulator.
Bro.
What do you think the key is to winning one of these races?
Well,
Because it
this-
seems like it's normally not the like NASCAR guys. Even it's like
This
It's
race,
JH.
Yeah,
I went-
how's that guy keep winning?
I went back and watched the
that's the
JH
first
footage.
and only race.
Oh,
he's
did you?
ever won.
Oh, damn, Mike. I didn't know
was-
you've been training.
I mean, that's about all I did. But dude, he was lasered last race. Like,
First and only
lasered.
race he's ever won,
Yeah,
though.
Really?
Exactly. So it's like other people. You could study other
Dude,
people too.
he's just a big redneck. I don't know how.
Man,
he won that.
I know a big
Everybody
redneck,
needs
and
a
I can
big
tell you
redneck
this
in their
much,
crew.
He ain't gonna win the race.
I don't know how he won.
So what do you think the key is?
Well, the key for this one is you know how it's. You guys know about the kidney bean layout, right? You know that the race goes down into
yeah,
the.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
you
best.
can't do that.
A lot of
Ken-
crashes.
Yeah, Ken took out like 3 barrels.
Oh,
last
that's
time.
right.
Three
That was
barrels.
so
It was-
entertaining.
dude, he was the most entertaining racer on the track.
I know. Sometimes, see, that's the thing. Is some people bring the show. Some people come to win.
I can see why. Yeah, you keep inviting us back. yeah, because it ain't for the competition aspect of it.
Well, I love the C-Boys, but if you can protect the car, who's driving first?
We gotta figure that out.
Haven't figured it out
Who
yet.
can
I'm
run-
probably the
who
most-
can run faster.
Neither of them,
I've
dude.
been by a little bit.
Dude,
then-
but
then
yeah,
you
but
should
I'm gonna
go
break
first.
the car more than
Don't-
likely.
Whoever's gonna protect the car needs to go first. You
I'll
can't
go
win in the
first.
first half.
I saw you kind of cook me up in your
Dude, that was-
prediction video.
I mean, it was hilarious.
It's nothing personal. It's nothing
let's
personal,
talk
and then
about
you
that.
just go in on me for 5 minutes.
I've been meaning to. Ben and Micah, my boys are not drivers. Dude, Ben, I saw him hit that tree. I knew you were about to say that. I mean, Ben hit a tree and said it was his brakes. The tree's been there all last 30 years.
All right, where are they going?
This is no personal offense, you know what I mean? No
Yeah,
offense.
no.
The Seaboys, great guys.
Let's talk about the
But holy
brakes.
shit, they do not know how to drive.
I mean, it's the
let's start
truth.
with
It's
Ben.
just facts. It's
No
just
offense,
facts.
dude. No offense.
No, none
Let's talk
taken.
about those brakes because I was actually reviewing the footage. It appeared as though the wheels were locked up.
I'll tell you the problem.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
that's
back
what I
wheels
said.
were.
I'll tell you
And
the problem.
Ben gets out of the car
I'll
and
tell you
goes,
the problem.
that e-brake didn't work. I'm like, you didn't
It-
even pull it.
It didn't work at the beginning. So I come in, I go to initiate it. The e-brake doesn't lock them up, and then I black out and panic
Didn't
from there.
rotate. Didn't rotate. yeah.
So it didn't put me sideways, and I was like, in my brain, it goes, I was supposed to be sideways at this point. What do I do?
Dude, I love that video.
So good.
By the way, my household, me and Rip, are big C-Boys fans. Rip, I think I've sent you guys all videos.
Appreciate
Rip,
that.
my son watches, like, I think a lot of parents do this. We tried to, like, limit screen time for our kids, but also when the little guy won't eat, like, kids just won't eat. Like, they'll just be like, today I'm just not going to eat. It really rattles the mom because they're like,
What's wrong?
you have to eat, honey, you know? We throw on C-Boys, dude. He loves it so much. You can just, like, feed him the whole time. I
No
don't-
way.
This is stuff you guys will learn when you're parents, but
Which YouTube channel to put on? To
we
get
go.
them?
It's guaranteed C-Boys for us.
That's
Love
awesome.
that.
The
Love that.
2023
Appreciate that.
best of 2023 C-Boys video where it opens up and Evan crashes the dirt bike into the frozen lake.
Oh, yep.
Like if you show that to Rip, he's just like,
I'm
And
in.
then
Got him
he's
eating
in.
peas.
he's in, and then we're just feeding the guy. So
Dude, that's
that.
funny. I
Little
actually
secret.
heard somebody else was telling us the other day that their little one just watches that video of Evan going through the ice on repeat. Like that can't be.
Is that kid gonna be
That
okay?
can't be good for the young brain.
a little bit of brain rot.
I got an email about that, but it was specifically hot dogs. They're like, "Yep, I just show them the video of you with your hot dog stand, and then I feed him hot dogs because it's the only thing he'll eat."
It's bizarre.
Feeding America.
Toddlers don't make a lot of sense.
No.
Well, I don't want to skip over this break situation.
Thought we were done. I thought we were done.
So we're out, we're big fans. So when we watched this video, it was so funny. Like
I'm glad.
Literally.
I'm glad that me hitting a tree
Well, it wasn't
in
that.
our unicorn was funny for
It
you.
wasn't just that. It was like when I got my racetrack, I'm out there, no helmets, bombing around, just being an idiot. And I'm watching, I'm like, these guys are being complete idiots with no helmets
So
on.
stupid.
I'm not trying to bag on you guys driving too much, but like the amount of recklessness watching you guys all try and drift at the same time. Like,
And then we got trees everywhere.
a couple of you guys can drift, but like the separation
together, yeah.
crazy. And then Ben is just, I'm watching him like, oh no, I already seen the title and thumbnail. So I'm like just watching him like, oh my God, he's got no helmet on. He's just yanking the brake and then puts her in the tree. Tough break.
Yeah, tough break. You're gonna have that. But I've never claimed to be a wheelman.
You get when you
I've never claimed to be a
don't know what to say
wheelman,
about
dude.
that. I mean,
So going into this race, I'm like the previous C-Boys that have raced in it set an insanely low bar.
you're good.
And then two, it's like everyone that sees me out there is just like, holy shit, which wall is he gonna hit?
Well, the Crown Vics are easier to drive than what you were trying to do on the day you were drifting.
The
It was
unicorn is half crown.
Super
Vic.
hard,
it is.
super hard to drive. But yeah, it
No,
was half crown Vic, so that's not good for me.
Yeah,
Be familiar.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But it's just that car is off probably harder to drift than a typical drift car. You have trees, no helmet, like all that was just, it was hilarious to me. And then I watched you guys all learn the lesson at the same time, like, oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. I spun out a Lambo that a guy let me drive right here in turn 3, no helmets, went within inches of the wall at like Holland. And I'm like, damn. That was the moment it all clicked, and I saw that happen to you guys, and then I had to bag on you a little bit because you pulled the brakes card out.
Well, yeah, obviously.
it'd be
what
a-
else was I gonna do?
Yeah, you got to do something.
Yeah.
Be
man.
ashamed
What
not
was
to
I
be
gonna
on
just
can't
take
blame
all of
that
it?
tree,
Yeah.
That tree, dude. Can't believe it was there for 20 years.
That's the thing, though, Ben, is what the other drivers are going to be scared of is that you're just a complete wild card. They don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
Couple people have shown up and won on their first race. So, Brian Deegan.
Oh yeah,
Big
dude.
difference between Brian Deegan and Ben.
I don't know, dude.
Well, it could be, man.
Might be your night. Might be your night.
If I win, boys, we say this every time, but we're getting a private jet. We're going straight to Vegas, and
Oh my
we're betting the
God.
You wanna
company.
fly?
I will go.
100%.
with. I'll
Let's go.
fly. I'm actually going there. I'm going
Tonight?
on Monday. You guys can just come with. I'm
Win
going
or
to Salt
lose, we
Lake,
go.
All right. Fuck it, we'll come with.
So,
I guess.
I think you'll be all right. And I will tell you this: your car in qualifying, damn, like I should double check, but I'm pretty sure your car, like we run them all for 15 laps. Like you do have.
It's a good
I'm
one.
setting the bar for you. You have the best car. You have the fastest
Oh
car.
man,
Dude, because
We
last
needed
time
that.
I'm pretty sure that we've been getting some lemons.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right. We might be the problem. How much money in Crown Vics do you have?
I don't know. I heard there's 140 on property.
Oh my God.
140 Crown Vics.
That's what I heard.
Winter is here, and with the sun and the warm weather being gone, getting sick is also more prevalent. In fact, I think all the boys are feeling a little bit under the weather right now, including myself. But thankfully, we have ZocDoc, so we can have a quick doctor's appointment without wasting the whole morning at the doctor's office. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you guys can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and choose the right one for your needs and click to instantly book an appointment online. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty from mental health to dental health, eye care to skincare, and much more. I'm going to book an appointment probably right after this, honestly. And if you are sick, so should you. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/wide-open to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc.com/wide-open, ZocDoc.com/wide-open. I tell you guys each and every week how much Shopify has helped us grow our business, and I think it's time for you to create your own story. It costs just $1 per month to get started, so don't stay in the same place and wish you had started earlier next year. Shopify makes it easy every step of the way. I'm telling you guys, nobody does selling better than Shopify. And with Shopify Pay, checkouts are easy, meaning as a customer, you guys can check out faster and easier. But also, as a business, you can convert on more sales. If you are in need of a website and you haven't tried Shopify, you are only holding yourself back. So upgrade your business and get the same checkout that we use at CboysTV.com and sign up for your $1 per month trial period at Shopify.com/wide-open. And that is all lowercase. Go to Shopify.com/wide-open now to upgrade your selling today. That is Shopify.com/wide-open. Thanks for sponsoring the podcast, Shopify.
Where do you keep them?
They're all back there.
Oh my
You should
God,
go
what
back
The
there.
Crown Vic graveyard.
Dude, don't let Evan see that. That's his
Go
dream
back
one
there,
day.
dude.
He wants to have just like every vehicle that he's ever broken lined up in one spot, but we don't have a big
There's
enough
a-
spot to put them.
There's a ton back there. You should walk back there at some point.
Have you driven up the prices on Crown Vics? Like, there's no way you find a Crown Vic on Facebook Marketplace around here.
I don't know, dude. There's a million. That's called the Panther chassis. There's over a million of them. So
Maybe.
between the Grand Marquis and like the Marauder and all of them, I'm sure for P71, like police car Crown Vics, there's got to be 300, 400,000 of them. I don't know the number. There ain't no way. If I only have 140, I've driven up the price. They're just such a good vehicle. The price. is so
Don't people try and drive up the price on you if they find out that you're buying?
Yeah, dude. Freaking local auction. It's been jacking me.
Really?
Yeah, I have to secretly buy them now. People
Like they
bid me
weren't
up,
they
dude.
weren't selling them to you, or they were just like making them outrageous prices?
Dude, this dirtbag auction company. I was buying Crown Vics online. Normally I would go in person, but it was so busy I was buying them online. So I bid on like 20 in one day, and I just set the price at like fourth. You know how you can set the high bid, and then when someone bids, it just automatically goes $100 above them. I set the price at like 4,000 for all 20 of them. Guess how much all 20 of them sold for?
4,100.
4,000.
What?
4,000 even.
Oh,
They made it to my max bid and stopped.
Yeah, but, like, that's really suspicious over 20 cars.
Essentially, they bid it up.
Every
And a
single
guy called
one.
me. He goes, "Did you set all your max bids at something?" He goes, "Yeah, someone ran all your cars to the max bid." And they were different. They were like, actually, it was like 3,800. And then like 2011, I'd go like 4,400. And so in one auction, I got smoked. And
It's a lot of dough.
yeah, they got me bad because I was buying them for like 2,500 to 3,000. And they just screwed me.
yeah, we kind of had the same situation on a much less scale, but with R6s. Just because
Yeah,
we've
they're
been buying
getting-
so many
Yeah.
R6s.
You see us coming, people know. They're like, all right, they need it.
Buying stuff as a YouTuber, they see you pull up, and they know you. It's not a great negotiating tactic.
Yeah, it's really bad, especially when they see Mike, because they know this guy's Money Mike. You know, he ain't gonna negotiate either. He might
He's
even pay him
leaving
more.
with it.
He might even pay him more. I've seen him do that.
He's leaving with it.
It's bad. And trying to sell stuff is not good either.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh.
if we've ever sold anything.
Selling
Not
stuff as
really.
a YouTuber just sucks.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if someone's going to start a YouTube channel based off of what you sold them, and like you're just going to have to deal with that for months coming. Like, I'm terrified to sell anything because sometimes we do hack job stuff under the skirt.
Really?
If we have to, like if I got to get a car out to go race, there might be something a little sketch going on. Like, you know, re-welding a control arm bracket to the frame rail, and then someone comes along and is like, Cleetus does garbage work on this car. And I'm always just worried about that.
See, I was going to compare your collection. Everything seems to run. Ours, really nothing works anymore
I
after
think-
a video.
I think they're actually the same style collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Most of my stuff's broke too.
Fix it, use it, leave it broken until you need it next.
Yeah, we'll use it, and then it's just like put away and left to die.
Yeah, you
until-
forget about it because you got to just keep going to the next. It's on to the next thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad habit.
It is. It's a terrible habit. It's like not cleaning up your mess.
Yeah, it's the hardest part because having fun with it is easy. But I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
your mini TRX, dude. Ah, man, that
thing is
hurt to
sweet.
see it go.
Tough break, dude. 30 G's.
It looked real fun when
30
it worked.
G's to do that. Just to do the single cab?
Well, I killed the motor in it.
Yeah, you
It
blew
has
it up.
a $30,000 Hellfin motor.
okay.
I killed it in the dunes, just being an idiot.
Yeah, the dunes eat up motors, man. We figured that out. We brought
Turns
2
out.
snowmobiles there. Who would have thought those would have blown up?
I would have thought, dude, that's crazy.
Honestly, I was a little surprised, though. Did you ever figure out, like, why it did that?
No, I haven't even messed with it.
It's just sitting there.
Threw her in the corner.
Yeah, project for another day.
The second motor's blown up?
The Hellfin motor.
They just blew it up.
Killed it.
Well, you said you still got the original
Still got the
Hellcat
OG.
motor to put
Slap
in it?
back in if we have to.
Man, we would have slapped that Hellcat motor in something
I know.
like the next day that didn't need a Hellcat motor.
I think it might just be a supercharger. We'll see.
Do you think if it was a Raptor R, it would have made it? A mini Raptor R?
I think what it comes down to is the air filtration. So we had sand go through the engine.
Yeah, you're going to have that in the sand dunes. It's crazy,
problem.
dude.
The
That's what
sand
we were
goes
saying, too.
everywhere.
We're like,
What
how
an
the hell did we
idiot
get
I am,
sand in the
dude.
motor?
Yeah, we're just kind of idiots.
So you were giving that mini TRX away.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were hanging out in Glamis last year, you were telling us that you were having that TRX built. And then when you dropped it, you were kind of getting cooked.
I got cooked.
Yeah, so I remember you saying that you hate when people hate so much that you went out and you bought a $100,000 TRX to have as the second option if people wanted that,
Yes.
which the winner ended up taking,
Yes.
right? But you don't like getting hate? I mean, who does?
Yeah. Well, some people like freaking Jake Paul and Whistling Diesel, like those 2 examples, like they kind of let it. They love kind of riding the hate. I hate when my comment section is like just
Not positive.
yeah, like when it gets real toxic and they're like, "You're an idiot," I usually take that into account. I'm like, okay, maybe I am. Maybe I did make a bad call here. So I'm willing to fix it. Plus, the giveaway just did bad because no one liked the truck. Man. So I was like, I got to do something here to save this promotion. And
Just like double it up.
Which, yeah, I guess
Double
in my
down.
opinion, like watching from the outside was probably the most notable giveaway because of that move.
it actually overall highest performing giveaway ever.
really?
It was
Yeah.
so
After
entertaining.
all of it, yeah. I think it was down probably 60% in the start. And then it came back to be the best one ever.
Dude, it was just funny that the whole thing was over a mini TRX. Like when you just look, every time I'd look at it, I would just laugh. I'd see you promoting
great,
it.
yeah.
I would just
Maybe
chuckle.
A bad call. Maybe a bad call, dude. People were like, they just hated it. They hated it so much. They're like, you took a perfectly good $90,000 truck and cut the doors off, and now it looks stupid. And I'm like, damn, I didn't think about that.
It took like a year. I remember last year you were talking about it.
It took forever.
Which sucks. You're
But
probably pretty excited to
Got the
debut
truck
it.
done, spent about 20 grand to shorten it the right way because I wanted it to be super legit. And then the dude like missed on the paint job, and it just, it just snowballed bad.
I get what you're saying though, how you do listen to the comments of like, if there's an overwhelming amount of criticism, you do take that into account of like, I don't know everything, and these people are here to keep me in check, right?
Yeah.
And I think that if you're a creator that just completely disregards that and you're like, no, my followers are stupid and they don't know, I know better, I think you're just delusional in that aspect. But
Yeah.
I think there's like a fine line of like giving people what they think that they want versus maybe what they need.
Yeah.
Or not what they need, but like,
Penn's giving them the content they need, not
Yeah,
that
they
they want.
Well, there's 2 ways also. Like the content a Whistling makes, for example, it brings hate, which brings more views. The things that I'm referring to specifically, like pay-per-view or giveaway, people are spending money on it. So if you then screw up, it's like if you sell people bad T-shirts, obviously that's bad business. If you advertise a pay-per-view, they spend $10 on it, and then it's just awful, and the stream cuts and the website crashes, you will receive a roasting like you've never had in your life. You can't play around in those situations. You have to own it immediately, refund, where necessary, and make some major changes, because if you do it twice in a row, like for the same reason, you're pretty much toast. And I think in the merch world too, like if you guys do a good job with your merch, but some of these YouTubers, dude, just burn the bridge with their customers. Like 6 months later, they ship out their limited edition hoodies and they're just garbage.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time. I mean, for the last like probably 2 years, or I'd say a year, we've been just like experimenting or like trying to come up with a product or another way that we can bring some value. But like every time we're like, okay, if we do this, we need to do it right and perfect, because like you only have so many shots really at like, hey, like I'm bringing this and you guys can buy it. If they buy it and it's shitty, your take 2, you're gonna have much less of a pool, and then obviously take 3, you're probably out of there. But
you're toast.
Yeah, you struck out. But
yeah, so on the content side, you can do it. You can screw up and they'll come back. But when they're paying money, you got to treat them right.
Dude,
it's all about how you fix the problem.
Let's talk about drag racing.
Yeah,
you came a long way, and that's not just coming from me. That's coming from some of the old timers I'm around that watch you. They're like, dude, he's big time in it now when it comes to drag racing.
Let me tell you something, dude. I have a car that I'm setting up for really anyone to drive, and it was almost done for this. But whenever you're down here next, I want to let a couple of you guys make a rip in this thing. We'll put that like tentatively out there, but
we're doing some passes, boys.
Sounds like a bad idea, bro.
It's gonna be sick. You're gonna love it, and you just have to go straight. And there's trees.
No trees.
No
okay.
trees.
Except for that one at the beginning, but
and we'll make sure the brakes
are the goal.
Dialed. We'll make sure those brakes
they work.
Parachute, whole nine. But drag racing, yeah, dude, it's a great sport. You just gotta try it out a little bit. Yeah. You'll probably love it. You'd probably get hooked.
I think I would love it. Yeah, I mean, I've ridden in a few, but so like as of recent, like what you're in the 5s.
Yeah, I went a 580 at 250 last week.
Dude, what does that feel like?
That's nuts.
Brother, it's fast. I mean, from 0 to 250 in 5 seconds. It is fast. It's stupid. Like you're talking 0 to 60 in like I think it's 0.8.
What? Yeah. Like what does your body feel like?
You feel
or do you just black
feel the
out?
Parachutes more than anything, but she's
saying you kind of feel the I guess reverse G's of the parachutes.
Yeah, the parachutes actually hit harder than the car, but
like it just boom.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of freedom. You're sitting there like.
Does anything feel fast after that? Like you hop in
other cars feel slow.
I'm sure. Like you hop in this Supra. What does this have? Like 1,300 horsepower?
Yeah, probably.
Like what is that? Like driving just a Subaru nowadays?
Nothing. Yeah. It actually helps you because when you're in a really fast car and your brain gets to that level, because now I can drive the 5-second car and I understand it as we're traveling down the track. I understand the feelings of, okay, the tires are off the ground or they're on the ground or they're just touching or I'm going left or right. Like you catch up with it. Then you get in the slower car, it's a second slower, and like I'm like fully locked in every part of the car. So it actually helps you, I think, because you slow down.
I think I know what you're saying, kind of on a much smaller scale.
Say you're driving a 450 dirt bike on the track. It's probably a little more bike than like I could handle. Then I go down to my 110.
Right.
And like then I can just like I'm wide open through the berms. Like
you're ripping.
Totally different. It's actually more fun driving a slow car fast than driving a really fast car fast. It's just.
I think the Supra is like the fastest car I've ever been in, honestly, and it's your street car.
Yeah, that thing's turd. I mean, it's fast, but it's like doesn't even hold a flame to what this other stuff does.
Would you ever do a nitro car?
So I don't fit in Top Fuel dragsters unless it was a custom chassis, and like I don't think the risk to reward exists there.
Too fast.
What do they go? 330?
Yeah, something like
330 mile an hour. I know they're going 330 here.
That is a good question though. Like you're climbing the ladder of you're in the 10s,
where do you
the
stop?
9s. Exactly. So that is what I was wondering. Like Top Fuel just seems like you got to make it your life, I guess.
It's a big risk. Like you're going 330 mile an hour. If that puppy blows over or whatever, you're going for the ride of your life.
Yeah, I can't even wrap my mind around that.
They keep a helicopter here when they run them. Really? Like the helicopter is sitting there ready because it's so life or death if something goes wrong. That kind of scares me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I feel like there's no like easy crash in that. Like no matter what, at that speed.
Yeah, like if your parachutes don't come out or something, like only a few things have to go wrong. You blow a tire. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know when we'll stop.
But it might be there.
But we might be close.
And that doesn't mean necessarily stop. I mean, there's so much fun to be had in the in the 5s.
Yeah, I mean,
just the 5s.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to run a Top Fuel car to the 8th mile, and then I'm sure if I ran it to the 8th, I'd feel comfortable enough to go to the quarter. But damn,
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
3 seconds to go 1,000 feet.
Do they have like if your parachute doesn't go, there's no way do they even have brakes on it, or is it just the parachute?
They have brakes, but you're going off the track. You're going off the end at probably 130, I would think, is what you could get down to.
If your parachute doesn't go?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that's about twice the legal limit on this interstate. So, yeah, going twice as fast.
I mean, there ain't really a crumple zone. Like, that thing, depending on what you hit, you're just going to take the brunt of it. It's not going to slow you down. I don't know.
Have you seen that?
I've seen parachute. Yeah, I actually just this last weekend where I was racing Eagle, one of the cars in my class, parachutes stripped right off it. Dude threw the chutes, both came off, immediately rolled and slid on its roof like more than a quarter mile.
Jeez Louise, dude.
Yeah,
it's good. It's one of those things, man.
He was good.
You don't really think about, I guess, if you're doing it, you do. But like to the general public of how many people race in it versus how many people probably get injured or die, like the percentage has got to be insane, right? It's got to be pretty high, like higher than most sports.
Drag racing's really good because for the most part, your inertia remains in one direction and can't be stopped immediately. You know what I mean? Unless you go over the wall, there's nothing that can stop you. So your inertia doesn't have an immediate change. You know what I mean? Like
no trees. Yeah.
There's no trees. In drifting, I think they have probably more high impact hits than most drag racers. But if you blow over, you know, which is like if you're doing a power wheelie and you get up in the higher 150s, like maybe closer to 200 and you fly, and you go off over the walls and find something that can stop all your inertia, that's where people really get hurt. Or fires. You know, if you're going 250 and a fire breaks out, you can't get stopped for another 20 seconds. That's where your suit, like my suit is 20 layers. It's supposed to be able to survive those 20 seconds while I get the car hopefully stopped or it slides to a stop or whatever.
Does your wife, like, get worried?
Well, I mean, we're talking about this in the worst case scenario.
True.
No, I know, but even when you're doing, you know,
I think she gets
5
nervous.
seconds.
I think she gets nervous, but we have the best equipment, so that helps. I think she's pretty comfortable with it now. We've been drag racing for a long time, and I think she gets worried when I'm racing those real short wheelbase cars that are crazy. They're like, you know, there's a lot of idiots with fast cars too. That's something you got to account for.
Oh,
like
we know.
You freaking pull into this guy that you know crashed last weekend. That sucks.
Oh, like up against him and you're looking at him?
Dude, people will crash and then fix their car in the staging lanes.
That's what Ben's got going for him tonight. People are going to be scared. They are going to be scared of you. Just drive aggressive.
Dude, I see that CboysTV logo.
Driving around.
I'll be like, damn.
Let him pass. Let him pass.
I'll be like, what if his brakes go out? Who knows what he'll do? Like, I saw guys this last weekend crash, fix their car in the pits, and then be right back in the staging lanes. And I'm like, damn, I don't want to race him.
Yeah, because that's a patch job. Like, you're throwing it together.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, they do it. It's just a little sketch.
I got a question for you. What's up with you and the song Love It or Hate It?
Oh, hate it or love it. When I turn that song on, it hits so damn hard.
Yeah.
When I listened to it on the way to work, listened to it this morning.
That's amazing.
Really?
Said hate it or love it. Underdogs on top.
The
And
best
so when
part about that answer
true.
is that it wasn't some premeditated, oh, okay, so the reason I use that song, you're just like, I just love it. It's a good
Just
song.
love it, dude. I posted it a couple times and someone was like, pick a new song. I said, you know what? Hate or love it.
I love this.
I'm posting this for the rest of my life. This will be my Instagram.
Do you know how many times you've posted it?
No.
You've posted it 103 times. The main audio just on Cleetus Mcfarland. Not on all the other ones, not on stories.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just main audio on the thing.
I would have thought it was more, but that's
Yeah,
pretty
that makes
good.
sense
I mean,
when you say
obviously it's
not counting stories.
only
Yeah.
rising.
I'm trying to get 50 Cent to come race.
Yes.
That'd be sick.
That'd be
You could have
insane.
him perform or something.
How hard
for
for
your
you?
birthday, dude.
Bro, that
Just
That's
on,
how you
no, it's
up
just
it.
on repeat. That's all.
It's just one song, just to
Cleetus
keep
is
it
just
cheap.
the whole
plays that song. What if we got him for the Freedom 500?
Dude.
I wonder what his fee is.
Dude.
I wonder if someone could reach out to his team.
He'd probably do
probably
it for a
watching.
discount just to be here.
No,
lot of people are into it now.
Yeah, you're boosting his charts. And
I think I've had a few people unfollow because of it, but hate or love, dude.
Yeah.
Underdogs on top.
I mean,
That's what it is.
the comments are pretty funny though. Like judging by what you said earlier in the podcast, I would have thought that you would have switched because there is so many people that are just like, dude, seriously, stop.
Yeah, see, that's something I don't care about that opinion because, like, I guess it goes back to the thing. It's like, it's a free Instagram
that
account. It's not that deep. I'm playing the song. Hate or love it, dude.
I don't want to blow up your spot, but like I bought the rights to Chill Bill. So I was wondering if you did that with Hate It or
That's a
Love
good
It. Like
idea.
you bought some of the streaming rights for it and now you're like pushing it out there.
Nah, dude, I'm just, I'm just playing.
But you should do that
or
if
love
it's
it.
possible.
You know, if I could buy it, make
Yeah,
a little
like,
coin off
You
it.
just own like 0.1%
Yeah,
of it.
basically it goes public.
I
And
didn't
then,
even think of that.
Yeah.
Genius.
Investing.
Genius. Now I'll keep rocking it probably till I die.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Every time I hear the song, I think of you.
Yeah,
Good.
So
100%.
you got that going.
Imagine they ban it or something. That'd be so sad.
Actually, I mean, you were the first one to tell me that. Like,
The holidays are a marathon. From grandmas to aunties to in-laws to Friendsgiving, do not forget to take care of yourself and keep Liquid IV on hand to stay healthy and hydrated throughout the holidays. And while traveling, it's hard to stay hydrated. You can't just bring water through TSA. So I always pack a few extra Liquid IV packets so I can mix them up on the go. Liquid IV has true to fruit flavors that keeps you hydrated, from acai berry, lemon lime, or pina colada, and sugar-free options like raspberry melon, white peach, and green grape. Tear, pour, and live more. One stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone, and powered by Liquid IV Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration, with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, and always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Stay hydrated through the holidays with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code WIDEOPEN at checkout. That is 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code WIDEOPEN at liquidiv.com. Thank you so much, Liquid IV. Mando keeps the whole crew smelling fresh, even when we are sitting in a warm airplane hangar at Cleetus Mcfarlands in Florida. And the thing is, most deodorants don't do what Mando does. Mando was created by a doctor, and he saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. He created Mando to block odor all day and control it for up to 72 hours, and is clinically proven to control odor better than a shower alone. The best part is there's no baking sodas and no barbers, and with scents like bourbon, leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport, there is a scent for everyone. And I've said it before, but my personal favorite is Mount Fuji. Seriously don't know what Mount Fuji smells like, but Mando smells pretty dang good. Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter packs. All you got to do is use code WIDEOPEN at shopmando.com. That is SHOPMANDO. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
back when I would edit a little bit of the videos, I would try to use, I mean, I'll just admit it, like I just use not good songs, and I would try to use a different song every single time. And then
brutal.
CJ was like, dude, so what we're trying to do is like, if you use a good song, kind of not
Use
every
good
single,
music.
yeah, but yeah, you like if we find our song and like use it over and over, then people recognize it. And then I was like, yeah, you do have a point. And then there's 100% truth to that. Like Danny Duncan has his transition song, and that's kind of you use that as an example.
You guys have,
and you just know, and you guys have done a great job of that. So I think using the same song over and over goes way farther than using a different song every time.
My viewers rage if I change my time lapse song.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to have one of the most like loyal fan bases on YouTube for how much you post and how it's always like over a million views.
I
love
definitely am so lucky. Like I have like the easiest audience to work with of all time. I think like they're very responsive. They're cool. They're not like insane. Like if I meet someone at the grocery store, it's a great experience. It's not like it's not like I know what some people deal with. I don't have stalkers. I mean, I've had a couple crazy people that have come to my house, but I don't have like crazy people that'll like interrupt my dinner to tell me they hate me. You know, like, I'm sure some people have that. Imagine being in politics, like how much people can hate you over an idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure we share quite a
bit. Ours is the same experience, honestly. But no, it's just crazy watching your work ethic. I feel like we work really hard, but if there's another person that works harder than us, it's you for sure. I
appreciate it. I know you guys work really hard, and actually, this is something I want to talk about. Why do you guys only post once a week? Why can't we up those numbers?
Dude, they're gonna love hearing you say that.
What the hell are we doing here? How many? 5 guys?
Well, you sound just like them.
6 guys making these videos.
Are you working for the ops
Where's
here?
the content? Where's the content?
Well, I mean, look at the content. Look at the content. I mean,
it's great.
Every Thursday, it's just jam packed, and it's as high a quality as we can while still keeping it consistent. I mean, we're filming up till Wednesday to make Thursday happen. Then we edit it in one day. God damn it!
Maybe we don't have a good answer for you.
I'm pissed about it.
One day when
Oh,
we
man,
when we have a,
I'll just say this, dude. It's hard enough to do one a week for us, honestly.
we literally couldn't. I mean, we were uploading in the airport last night. We were editing at the airport on the plane.
So talk me through a week here. What time do you guys get to the shop?
Well, I mean,
Noon?
yeah, we'll get to the shop
If
at
you're
like,
Micah, noon.
I don't know, 9. If it's a
Yeah,
Monday,
keep going.
if it's a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday,
Keep going.
we'll film on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays.
Okay.
a lot of Saturdays.
We gotta corral the crew, so we might start filming at 10, 11, but then we're also working on projects. Usually when we do a project, it's not like we put some in one video and then some in the next. Like it's like
it's
one project is one video, right? And some projects take 2 months. So we'll film a bit for that project that we got going on, and then we'll film a podcast, and then we'll film another bit for another video that we got going on, and then we'll sit down and we'll edit the video on Thursday. So CJ and I'll show up at like 6, 7 a.m. and then and Dalton will edit all day on Thursday.
Like 7 to 8, 7 to 9.
So it's like a 13, 14 hour.
Damn.
It's just a lot of footage because, I mean, you were mentioning the 5, 6 guys, but like when you're just running the camera, you have so many people talking. So then it's like you have so many jokes you kind of got to sift through, and you try and keep it consistent moving forward. At least that's what we do. But a lot of it, like Ben said, is like we're working on projects that are a month or 2 out, and you're filming, you're picking up. So like oftentimes we're working on like 3, 4 videos at one time.
Yeah.
But and then you got, of course, like calls and shit and whatever else. But we could up our numbers. We used to do 2 a week, and we just found that we could make a better video by just doing 1 a week.
Everyone does have a different strategy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to post more than once a week,
Dude.
but I just feel like
Nobody posts more than you, though. Like, if you look at us compared to most other YouTubers posting consistently once a week, in terms of like bigger YouTubers, most people aren't doing it.
I know.
So like, you are an anomaly. You really are. And I mean, I've watched you work. You show up, you're just on it, dude. And you have such a good crew. It's like everything's ready to go. And
Yeah, that's huge. Employees is probably the number one thing to make you be able to post a lot. But every YouTube channel has a different strategy. And if once a week maximizes your guys' ability to reach your audience, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, we just focus on the one video. We make it as good as possible. That's just has been working for us. And honestly, the biggest thing is we're just trying to mitigate burnout too. Like with all of us, you might not believe it, but like we're all like strong, dude. Like very rarely do we work less than 6 days a week. 7 days a lot of weeks. Also, Evan lives 4 hours away, and he's got a whole nother life, right? So we got to keep that in mind too of his time and when he's at the shop. So, there's just a lot of different moving parts that we, try and juggle, and that's just kind of what we found works for us.
I'm definitely not trying to criticize you guys. I just,
No.
putting us on the hot seat, bro.
I'm wondering. I just want to know.
So like, do you even take a day off ever?
All the time.
Really? How do you ever have time
I
to take a day
great
off?
employees.
Like
I mean, we have great employees too, but
I have, here's the thing. Now I try to edit, when I'm at work, or I just edit when everyone's asleep. Mm-hmm. So that just solves that problem.
So you just don't sleep.
Well, I mean, in all reality, it's like, how much sleep do you need?
A couple hours is good.
If you're getting 6 at night, that's pretty solid. I mean, I think Elon sleeps like 5
That's
hours.
true.
If you got to sacrifice some sleep, that's how I get back ahead. Is I'm just willing to do that. Yeah, like what you said about my guys get stuff ready, and that's crucial. It really doesn't matter how much you post. I guess if you've analyzed this is going to be the most watch time for the channel, period, then that makes sense. You don't have to post. You might lose money by posting twice a week.
Well, our videos cost a shit ton of money, and nothing's worth anything at the end of it. So it's like everything's totaled out. It's on fire.
I do think
you
about
can't
that
sell
when
it.
I watch your guys' stuff.
But something I think about a lot, which goes back to you, is like you have 2 kids, and eventually, like I'm gonna have kids. These guys will have kids. How much has having kids changed the way that you operate in terms of a business? Obviously, it's changed your personal life, but like.
All right, I'll tell you this. So like the first 4 months of having a kid, your first kid, it will take you and your wife to rock bottom just because of the situation of losing all your sleep. You will lose it because you're going to be so strung out about keeping the thing alive. Long term, as long as you can set your wife up correctly to have like help, like we have grandmas that help a lot, and you can get her that free time to like spend time with you, it can not affect your work life too much. And you definitely have to sacrifice work life first to be with mom and baby, because you know there was certainly a point where I didn't prioritize them enough. That doesn't help anything, and like the baby just multiplies all your issues. So if you have, per se, a drinking problem, the baby is going to take whatever your issue in life is and multiply it by 2,000%. Really? Just because that's what they do. They just make your life complicated because of the loss of sleep and what it does to your wife and things like that. So what I would encourage you to do is get to your point where you're not strung out and the business is ran really well and you can rely on those trustworthy employees, then have a baby. And it's a great process. But no matter what, you're going to hit rock bottom at some point because of loss of sleep or any outlying issue you may have in your life. Like that's what babies do. I think it's actually designed part of the process is they're so difficult to raise. We in particular, I think, had a tough baby. Our first one, Rip. For some reason, they just don't want to sleep or they don't want to eat. What it does to your wife is unbelievable because their mom brain is, I have to keep this baby alive and I love it so much. They won't prioritize anything but the baby, and you're trying to prioritize other stuff, and then it's just like, boom, it's crazy. Once you get through those difficult times, like right now, I know the kids are set. I don't stress about it at all the whole day. It certainly is a process to get to that point.
It's great advice.
Yeah, sorry we're quiet on this one. We got nothing.
Yeah, I'm just
dude.
thinking.
We're just like soaking it in.
No, I mean,
there,
I've seen Maddie just like, you know,
yeah.
Obviously she's always around and she's got the kids with, and she's an awesome mom. I don't know if it was your mom or her mom, but they came up to us and told us last time we were, yeah, Rip loves watching the vids. I don't know whose mom it was, but
probably it was either of them. But like grandmas are absolute key. I mean, obviously some people don't have the luxury of having a grandma, but like you got to find someone that really cares for the kids to help the mom, especially with two. And I will tell you guys this, whether it's the helicopter, the coolest thing you've always wanted in your life, it will not hold a flame to the words dada. When your kid says dada, there's nothing that touches it. Not the greatest freaking Starkvarg powered Ferrari with wings you've ever seen in your life. The first 6 months, it's like this little baby. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm a dad. When you walk home and that little guy says, dada, nothing touches it.
Were you scared to have kids?
It was scary when we found out we were pregnant. Then we were excited. And then when we went to the hospital, it was pretty scary. We waited too long, so Maddie was in labor in the car.
Oh.
Not awesome. And then she was like really in hardcore labor during check-in. And they're like, dude, the valet guy's yelling at me.
Just take it.
No, dude, the valet guy. Oh, frick, dude.
you can't park here.
I'm in our Tahoe.
I don't care.
I was going to ask, what car did you take?
We're in the Tahoe, and we got all our stuff, right? Like, you pack for this. So you just load that stuff, and then you go. Dude, Maddie's, like, screaming. The valet guy, I'm trying to get her stuff because it's crucial we have her stuff. You know, she has spent weeks organizing this stuff. I'm not going to let. The valet guy jumps in the Tahoe and just starts moving it. He's like, I'll park it. Worry about your wife. I'm like, brother, let me get my bag and her phone. You know? So me and the valet guy are beefing. Maddie's screaming. And then
Rip's coming.
Yeah, Rip's on his way. They take your wife into a room. Well, this was this particular hospital, and they ask your wife, are you like safe? I don't know why. It's probably because people beat their wives or whatever, and they, you know, people who are addicted to drugs or children trafficking. I have no idea, but they take your wife and they want to ask them if they're safe. They also want them to sign some paperwork and stuff. And Maddie's like screaming through all this. So that experience for us was just not good. From the moment the labor started, that was all really scary until the baby was out and alive. And then we were like, now it's amazing again. But
it's got to be one of those things too, where when you're going into it, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to expect. This is your first time. You're like, my wife's pregnant. Where do I go?
It is.
Or how does that work? Or
so
do you
tour
call
the
ahead?
You tour the hospital prior, so you
Holy
know
shit,
this.
these are things I've never.
But it is the
Finding this all out.
most incredible experience of your life to see your child come to life from your wife that made it. It's nuts. It's the most
awesome.
like what is it? Like
surreal.
It's euphoric. It's also like it takes you to like you feel like
Out of
you're like
body.
animals. Like
Yeah.
you know, this is real life stuff. No, nothing else matters. Like your wife made this baby, and here it is. So I'm not trying to bore you guys with it, but
Right.
I can't wait for you all to experience it if
Dude,
you're gonna do it.
I can't wait to see Rip run around this Freedom Factory, dude.
Oh, dude, he'll
when
be
he's
here.
older.
Yeah, he rips now. I don't know when the
Yeah.
last time you saw him, but that dude is on it.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is he now?
2, just turned
Just
2 on
turned 2.
Wednesday. Yeah, so he'll be bombing around with his little helicopter, just living his life. He'll be here.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get him a helicopter?
Flies in.
Yeah, I mean he's got it.
He
He
just
has a
flies
toy
in.
helicopter that he'll be rocking today. I'd be shocked if he didn't have it on him. But loves riding in the helicopter. Him and I cruising it together. He rides up front by himself now. No mom.
That's awesome. Like some kids get a first car when they turn 16. He's getting a helicopter.
Oh, dude,
Little 2-seater.
I don't think I'm gonna let him fly solo for a long time, but he lives for that thing.
Do you have to be 16 to get your helicopter license or your pilot license? Like, how's that work?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 16. I think you can solo at 14, but you can't ride with you can't take passengers as a solo pilot until you're 16.
It's kind of like having your farm permit.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, same deal.
When I turned 15, I couldn't figure out how to get to school because I was outside of a district. And my parents didn't know what to do. Should have just got a helicopter.
There you go.
Imagine.
But this dude used to drive himself to school with no license.
Well, yeah.
Tell that story. Yeah.
It might be incriminating me now.
No,
You're-
you're on
yeah,
the-
they're gonna
you're
get
on
you
the
now,
years,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, dude. No,
His parents let him do it.
No, I lived outside of where any school buses went. My
Yeah.
parents worked 50 minutes the opposite direction. And, they worked 9 to 6. And so, yeah, I would just drive with my permit.
Get a farmer's permit.
No,
Oh,
It was completely illegal.
driver's,
Oh.
just a normal
just a
driver's
normal
permit.
Okay.
And I would drive to my buddy's house and then hop in with my buddy that lived outside
That
of
had
town
the
a
real
little
deal
bit.
stuff.
Yeah, and then we would ride to school
Nice.
together. Yeah, I did that for a while.
Yeah, we
It's
had
pretty sketchy.
farmer's permits in Nebraska. So I drove to middle school. You could drive at 14.
Is that
Just to
crazy?
school.
Like when you
Legally.
meet a 14-year-old now,
Yeah, that has that.
Oh my God.
isn't that wild? to
Yeah,
think?
is that
wow.
for real?
Dangerous.
You know, you start to understand like young people so much more when you have kids. Like, and they're into the same stuff as you. So it's just so fun. Like Rip only loves helicopters because I love them. If Evan has a kid, it's going to love dirt bikes.
That's how I feel like having Dalton
just-
around. I learned so much about young people.
They just,
Just share the world
Yeah,
with somebody.
Dalton does really.
they love what you love. Like, I don't know.
That is awesome. That's it. Yeah, it's still the coolest thing that you take him up in the helicopter. I mean, like Evan, he's a grown man and he can't do that stuff.
It's even flying though for Evan, like just flying in a commercial plane. Like,
really?
I mean, yesterday it was a nightmare for him, but it was even a nightmare for us because he's so nervous. He starts, drinking a little bit. We had 3 different planes we had to hop on. Dude, we felt bad for the whole plane. This guy's yelling, not like in a mean way, but he was just happy. Hey, CJ,
Well, he's deaf.
we should. And he's
deaf in
also
one ear.
deaf in one
Yeah.
ear, so he's already a little loud. Oh my God! I thought Ken was gonna strangle the guy, and then Mike had to sit next to him. We hop off the plane, and Mike just goes, "I have a headache."
Well, Evan said that he had 8 or 10 drinks, and they were all doubles. And then Ken added to the point that when you're in the air, it's like 1 drink equals 3.
Yeah, the oxygen's lower.
Yeah.
Like
So
drowning them out.
Evan,
They're hitting a little harder.
3. Evan had 60 drinks.
No, I don't know if those numbers are accurate, but he's pretty proud of it, as you can tell.
Yeah, I see that. We need to break you out.
Yeah, Ken did
but-
strangle him a little bit. Actually, Pop, I
Yeah.
didn't have my flash on, so you can only just imagine what happened in the dark. But Ken got 2 hands on his neck and wiggled him around a
He
little
did.
bit.
It looked like Homer
Yeah.
Simpson and Bart. But you really pissed him off when you took your skateboard out in the Airbnb and you were insisting on skateboarding on the hardwood floors in our Airbnb.
Yeah, so my boy was tore up.
No, he was just acting normal. But yeah, he was drunk too.
Okay.
But it is funny though, because like you're really only a year or 2 older than most of us. You don't necessarily feel older, but you're just so much more mature than us. Like,
I don't know if that's true.
I feel like you are.
I mean, I think that you guys might catch me in a certain environment. I mean, like in Glamis, when we were all having a blast together, it's like I think you guys are certainly more mature than you think. Like, you guys are running a freaking massively successful company. You're very legit. Like,
we're almost like professionally immature. Like, our job is to stay immature.
That's good.
And but like don't slip up and start like acting serious, you know.
It's a tough balance because you gotta be serious and then you also gotta be loose. That's why it's great to have Evan and mix in characters because they're loose.
Mix them in. I mean, if you don't have the maturity, it's like all the cards will come crashing down. So it's a balance.
Dude, I think that you're in a lot of situations too where you gotta be mature. Like when you're flying that helicopter, dude, like I watched the video when you were in North Carolina and you were doing all the rescue missions with the helicopter and you were delivering the water and like you were landing on the sketchiest landing pads in roads that were broken up, people's yards, and you were giving them rides back. Like the whole time I watched it, I was just like, man, Cleetus is one, outstanding guy, but two, so dialed. Yeah. Dude, like you were so laser focused, and I put myself in that situation, and I was like, God, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could put that many people's lives in the back seat too.
It's not Cleetus in that puppy, like it's Garrett, and I'm like, you have to understand, like that thing will yard tail if it touches a stick. You know what I mean? So it's like there's just zero room for error, and you learn a lot of that when you start flying them. You guys have been around enough to see people like. Some people hot dog them pretty hard. Like they tear it up. Like they'll do some sketchy stuff in a helicopter.
I'd imagine a lot of them.
Like the buddy that, like our only other friend that has a helicopter.
Well, I think Dave definitely pushes it. But, you know, I think there were some guys out at the cabin with the other helicopters who were ripping. And like some guys just are willing to push it pretty far in a helicopter. And depends on the helicopter you have. If you have a really good one like a Black Hawk, which is one of the best ever, you can push it because that puppy will get you out of most everything. I'm talking about these cheaper helicopters that I know you guys have seen and been around. Those things, you don't have really any room for error. It's like
because you're operating them at the limit.
You're already operating them at their max weight and horsepower, and it's like at that point, if anything goes wrong, everyone's toast. And like the pilot on board sometimes doesn't take that as serious as I would. So it's like anything. You have to set your own limits. Mine are pretty strict in the aircraft because they are a death trap if they're treated incorrectly.
Is it true that a helicopter is as safe, if not safer, than an airplane?
Airplane's safer.
Okay, because people always have the argument like, no, you can hover down to the ground. But like in my mind, I'm like, dude, I just picture a brick falling out of the air.
Yeah, it can for sure land no engine. We could go do it right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I saw your testing video.
I mean, I can do it 10 out of 10 times.
It's great confidence.
If we were all in that thing and that engine died, I can tell you that if just the engine failed and there was a field underneath us, I feel 100% confident I would land it and the helicopter would be completely okay.
Oh, wow.
It would just need the engine replaced. Now,
so where do things go wrong when you're in like sketchy environments that you can't land in a field, like in the mountains?
When I say like I could save it, yeah, perfect scenario. We're flying at 500 feet, 100 knots straight. The engine fails. I got it. When you're hovering 50 feet off the ground above a bunch of trees with a small landing, zone underneath it and the engine fails, that's outside the profile in which you can save it. There's a velocity chart, and basically you have to be going a certain speed at certain altitudes to successfully auto-rotate. Are we going to die? No. Maybe break our backs.
Have you had any sketchy situations?
I blew a rear main seal and an R-44, which is like, the Robinsons.
Yeah.
It evacuated all the oil. And when I landed, the oil light came on. So that one wasn't too bad. I did fly in fog one time. See this fog layer right here? This is just overcast. If we popped in that thing and flew up 300 feet, it would be perfect blue skies on top. I was at my house and it was broken, which is where there's gaps in it, and it was perfect blue sky. So I kind of popped up and I'm like, I got to go north. I was going to meet up with Travis Pastrana. And as I went north now, I'm on top of the clouds and they're starting to not be broken. So they're tighter together. I'd only had my license for maybe 6 months. As I'm going more and more north, I can still see the ground through these gaps. I called the guy ahead, which was where I was going, about 30 minutes north. I said, hey, can you see the sky? And he said, yeah, I can see the sky. Should never have trusted that. If you go and stand straight underneath this and look up, you'll be able to see some blue. And people like just took that as, oh, you can see the sky, whatever. So I just keep flying north. Now I can like barely see the ground. Well, I'm like, oh, well, he says it's good up ahead. So it's called VFR on top. So I'm still VFR. I can see everything. Visual flight rules. I'm on top. It's all good. Get to the destination. It is the exact same as what was below me. Like, you can't see the ground now. Flying a helicopter in the clouds is really difficult. It's like closing your eyes and standing on a bowling ball. You know, like if you guys all went in there and I said, close your eyes, I could put the helicopter in basically like a 90-degree bank really softly. And then you'd open your eyes and not have realized we shifted into that position.
See.
So unless you are really good at reading the instruments, you shouldn't be flying in the clouds. And to fly in the clouds in a helicopter, you have to have an instrument certified helicopter. You have to be an instrument proficient pilot, and it has autopilots. It has a lot of equipment required to do that. So anyway, now I'm above the clouds. I said, oh shit, I got to go south. I'm going back. I get back, it's socked in. We have about 30 minutes of fuel now, and we fly to the nearest airport. I've got a really good friend of mine that I trust with me, not a pilot, but I said, hey, like, I'm going to line us up at the runway. This helicopter, by the way, has zero equipment for flying instrument. And now I have instrument ratings as a helicopter pilot. At this point, I had none of that. So an approach allows you, it tells you on the dash a guided line to follow. And it brings you down really gently and in line with the runway to a minimum altitude of like 200 feet. So if you follow it on the gauges, it'll bring you all the way to the end of the runway. That's how planes and helicopters can fly in bad weather. So anyway, I have none of that equipment. All I have is my phone, which has a app on it. That was my GPS at the time.
Oh, man.
Great.
So I get to the airport. I decide we have to go in and try and land here because of our fuel reserve. I line up. We fly in at like 800. We go in, and I'm watching the attitude indicator and just slowly going down like you're shooting an approach. We get down to like 150 feet on the gauge. Still can't see the ground. It is like thickest fog. I have a picture of it from the day it happened. So I fly back out, and it felt like we were in the fog for an eternity.
Is everyone in there tweaking?
No one's saying a word.
Is it because
It's pretty
just
quiet.
silent.
Everyone knows what's like
Everyone's
going down.
silent. It's my wife and then my two friends and me. I had told Chad, my buddy, I said, tell me when you see the ground. You know, like you look down, I have to stare at the dash. I'm locked in on this dash. We fly back in, and dude, we're in there it felt so long. And I'm making a descent at 200 feet a minute, which is like really slow.
Yeah.
And he just screams out, I see the ground. I look down. We're over the top of a forest. Missed the airport by over a mile.
What?
holy
I'm telling you, brother, you can't see anything. So,
disorient?
and I literally, like, instinctively, I pulled back and I pulled in all the power and drooped the rotor, which is when you pull so much power, and when you're heavy in a cheap helicopter, the rotor speed slows down a little bit. I don't think I've ever told this story online, by the way. And this buzzer goes up. It's like, it's a horn.
Oh, man.
And, you know, instinctively, I lowered the collective, which is what you're supposed to do. And I kept flying on top of the treetops. And I found a hole, and I went in and landed and waited out the fog.
You guys
Really?
Was it just
man.
silent?
Dude, we were in the middle of a forest.
you were happy.
And then, like, 30 minutes later, a redneck walks up in all camo with a rifle. He's like, y'all need any help? I'm like, no.
Some helicopter fuel.
But, brother, it was
So
terrifying.
you took back off on reserve and then went dip to the airport?
Yeah, so we were a mile from the airport,
Yeah.
luckily,
Yeah.
in some guy's field. Who knows where.
That's scary.
Yeah, they say everybody at some point will, like, scare themselves with weather. And I did that, and I can tell you that I have never touched weather like that in a helicopter ever again.
And you deal with crazy weather around here.
Yeah,
But
fog and stuff, I won't touch it.
dude, I always think about like when you're buzzing above the clouds, like what you kind of described it. Like, do you ever just see like another helicopter and you're just like,
Yeah.
wave at them?
All
Do you
the
really?
time.
Just like you get
Yeah.
up there, it's just a bunch of helicopters like just driving down the road. Just,
Oh, it's, yeah, for sure. Sometimes you'll get with a guy and fly with him for like hours.
you're just taking a detour, cruising
Yeah.
around.
And like there's channels for helicopters. So like if I see the Manatee County Sheriff is flying, like I'll just jump on and talk to him for a little bit. And
Say what's up?
yeah, like you just cruise. Like all the new stuff, like we have traffic so we can see where everybody's at in this area. And so you kind of just see somebody, you can say what's up, and it's pretty insane.
That's so
so sick.
awesome.
You said that you kind of treat your helicopter like a like an Uber around here. Like you'll take it to lunch.
Yeah.
Take it out to dinner. You and Maddie
Yeah.
will just bop around Florida. Like,
Yeah,
I think that's like the biggest
I
flex.
think the C-Boys need one, dude. Ben's got to be the pilot, probably, right?
I want one so bad, bro. Like I said earlier, like getting yourself just so dialed.
Yeah, you got to be dialed.
Like I don't have an alter ego that's smarter than I am. You know, like you can always. He's
Ben.
I'm so, dude. I'm just always Ben.
When
so
you do
it's
the
not
training,
good.
like if you get into it and you start to love it, you'll just take it seriously naturally. I think there's only a few outliers who like just are savages with them. Like you'll just naturally realize the seriousness of the situation.
I want to go up with you. I want to go up real bad, experience it.
I would love you to try and fly it. It's one of the most difficult things you'll ever do is try and hover a helicopter.
What did you compare it to?
I mean, it's like standing on a bowling ball, but it's so weird to fly them because it's like, imagine you're like hung by a string, but you have to stay under that string. And so you have to give input to the top of the string.
Yeah, it's hard to wrap my mind around like what driving anything would be comparable to that.
Nothing. And I've always thought like I'm pretty good at jumping and stuff, being able to drive. I'm sure we all are. Like you can get in almost anything, right? A skid steer, a backhoe, whatever, and drive it, probably with almost no training. It's the one thing I've ever not been able to get into. And it took me a while to be able to hover. A couple training sessions.
Did you buy your own and then figure out how to fly?
I went and flew a couple lessons, and then I bought an R44, the Robinson that I was telling the story about, and trained in that and got my license and then sold it and upgraded. Because like they're just horsepower limited and it's a lot of water in Florida. It kind of scares me to be in like a piston engine deal in the sky.
So I think one reason that so many people love you is because you're very relatable. You know, when they watch you, they feel like you're kind of just, you know, one of the boys. And obviously as your channel's grown, you know, you became more and more successful and you can afford things like these helicopters or the planes or boat behind us. But how do you manage to, you know, grow your success, but continue to stay grounded and stay that guy that people, you know, tune back to every single week?
You know, that's really nice of you to say. I try to like stay humble and like connected with the people, just like you guys do. And like the money spending thing is definitely, it's a hard thing to do because like I personally want the helicopter, but I also don't want to be unrelatable. So say I didn't buy the helicopter because I wanted to stay relatable. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time just like, what am I supposed to do? Put the money in the bank and like hide it? I don't think that's what they want. I think they watch because they want to see cool stuff. I don't know necessarily if a helicopter is like what they want to do. The views are pretty good. So I think people are excited about that, for example. It's something I battle with. Like, how do you buy this cool stuff but also stay relatable? I don't know.
I think you've done a really good job at it, especially with buying this helicopter and then showing the like restoration process of it. But you also, last time we were hanging out, you were like, yeah, I'm buying this airport and I'm going to, you know, build my dream home on the airport and I'm going back and forth whether I want to show that or not. And I told you just like, you know, as a friend, but as a fan, I think that it's so much cooler to see somebody that you watch and support and look up to, you know, living like the life that a lot of people dream of, right? Yeah. So it's like, I think that you do it in a tasteful way of showing it where it's not braggy, it's not in your face, but it's like people want to see you win.
It's all hard earned too.
You're not a douche too. Yeah. And I think it's just so cool where I was like, bro, you have to show building the most insane house because that's what everyone in your position would also do.
On that so bad. I ended up just posting a video asking them if they thought it was something they'd want to see, and it was overwhelming yes. But like I don't get off on the feeling of like showing off. Like sometimes I feel guilty posting pictures of the helicopter because I don't want to like brag about it, but I love that thing so. I genuinely care so. Like I think that thing is the coolest thing in the world, and I love sharing that with people. So like I really want to post a picture, but I also don't want to give people the wrong idea that like it's all I care about. And I really just like to have fun and do it with cool toys. So I guess if people can get down on that, that's why they stick around. But some people I'm sure have left because of all the money spending. But what am I supposed to do? Not spend it? Like you guys are giving us this money by viewing our channels and being a part of it. Like I want to burn it to keep you entertained.
Yeah, you're giving back.
I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
and if they
Well,
left
you are.
because of that, they were never true fans. But luckily for you, you're not rolling into the dealership buying a brand new helicopter, and you're not rolling up to your house saying, "Yep, everyone built it. My house is done." Like, you were digging the concrete. Like, that was fun to see. And it's same for this. This was a journey to get to.
that
so it
certainly helps.
Brought your viewers to feel like they're connected to it too, because they're like, my favorite YouTuber bought a helicopter and then brought it back to life, and now I love it.
But you know what I mean? Like that feeling of it
Totally.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not a great feeling to just be like, oh, I'm gonna drop all this.
Yeah.
cash.
Like flexing isn't really. That's definitely not
I hate
your
that
thing.
feeling of flexing.
Yeah, like I used to have a Nissan GTR, and like just posting like a picture of that, I felt like I was flexing, which like realistically like a pickup costs as much as a GTR, but like people perceive it as a supercar. So yeah,
That's what
but
I'm
like
trying to say. Yeah.
yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
I posted a picture of your other helicopter that you have on my story, and there was a response that said the forbidden helicopter.
Yeah.
Or like the secret helicopter. I was like, oh, people.
CGI.
Yeah, people don't know about his other one.
That one I don't show particularly because of people tracking where we're at. It's just nice to be able to arrive somewhere, and it's never a thing. Like if I go anywhere in that one, it really is a thing. It's
It'd be
just-
like putting Cleetus stickers all over Maddie's car, you know?
Yeah, and I just kept it on the DL for the reason of like not flexing, and Consuela has her own story, so she's just I love showing her off. She's the coolest thing I think I own, and it's just a different ballgame. I don't know.
What time are we at, guys? Just out of curiosity.
Probably right there. Wrap. We should wrap.
I know you got a busy day,
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. We all do.
crazy busy.
gotta
Day. You're
tear it
much
up.
more
Yeah.
busy.
And you guys have the greatest guest of all time coming.
Yeah,
we do.
The greatest
Guest
human being
all
I think I personally have ever met in my life.
Yeah, I'm
Travis
really excited
Pastrana.
about it.
TP 199.
dude, it's like without Travis Pastrana, I don't even know if we'd be doing
We probably
what we
would.
are. Yeah, and probably same for you. Even like,
Oh, no.
such an inspiration. Just growing up watching him.
The single biggest inspiration for me and to get into motorsports, and he's the exact same person you think he is, but better in person.
Yeah, so kind.
How many people can you say that about? Like he is.
I'd say the same about you
Same
though.
thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Same
when
about
people
you.
ask, I always say that you're like the nicest YouTuber I've met. So
That's nice of you, but Travis, like, if we told him to like get on the Starkvarg right now and like
he'd do it.
we'd make like a jump and do a backflip, he'd probably do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him about these
He's a
electric
sicko,
bikes,
dude.
what he thinks. But well, sweet. We'll be
thanks, guys.
taking both these Starks home at the end of the race. Good luck. We'll have some more for the fleet. We'll probably put them in like a snowmobile or something. But
There you go.
great. Well, thanks, Cleetus.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Guys,
Appreciate
it was
you, brother.
an honor to be on here. All right, see you later.
See you later, brother.
See ya.